Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for mid-August 2024. You start with this Temple of the Soul card. It says, you're on the karmic path so you can unravel the mystery of your karmic debts. You have this Hand of Fate card. It says, everything is happening for a reason, except the things to which fate binds you. So, could be a very fated time for you, Leo. We'll see what is coming up for you here. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Temperance card, and the Tower. Every single person has had the Tower, so wouldn't surprise me if there was like some sort of global Tower moment going on at this time, like the middle of the month, or like the last 2 weeks of the month. We could see some craziness, but, I would just keep your head on straight, right? I almost just said keep your hand on straight, so maybe you need to keep your hands on straight as well. But I would say that, it just seems to be, a collective type of Tower thing going on right now. You have the Queen of Pentacles as your first card. The Queen of Pentacles is all about resourcefulness and using your resources. I do think that Leos have like way more resources than they realize, but it's like you have to use those resources to find success. And sure, we'll take both. Why not? So again, I think you have to. It's like you have to tap into the resources you have, or it's like maybe there are resources that you have that you're not using. These could be like talents, skills, abilities, all sorts of stuff. Maybe you can get words out on YouTube like I can't, right? So maybe you can actually talk. And whatever it is, I would use those skills because, it looks to me like they could be creating some improvements. You have the Ten of Cups here. And the Ten of Cups can represent fortune after difficulty. So it can say that you've been going through a difficult period of time, or, it doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. Maybe you're just dealing with some, typical life challenges. But the Ten of Cups kind of says that you're overcoming those things. And I feel that with the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Temperance card. Temperance is about turning one thing into another. And I think that, plain and simple, if I were a Leo, this is what I would be doing. I would be looking at the job I have, or the business I have, or the career I have, and I would be thinking to myself, how can I transform this? How can I evolve it? What needs to change? And I know I probably say this to you all the time, but literally, Leo, I am begging you, this is what I would do. And I don't do this just to hear myself talk, right? So I think if you do this, you will create an incredible amount of success that exists for you. But again, nothing is going to happen if you don't create the change. He has this crown back here. This is the path to glory. And he's trying to create change, but he could easily just step off onto this path and he could get that crown. So I think your last reading was titled like Get Your Crown or something like that. Something about your crown, right? Because it was all about you getting your crown back. We have the crown falling off the tower as well. So I really feel you have the opportunity to kind of like get your crown, so to speak. But again, it's going to require some change. It's going to require some looking at your current reality, like whatever is going on in your life, and making changes to adapt to that new reality, which can definitely be challenging for fixed signs, for sure. It's not impossible, of course not. But I think that like adapting to this new reality that we're all in is going to be the thing that helps you the most. Sometimes I think with Leo, the thing that stops you, because I live with a pain in the ass Leo, he's upstairs right now, my brother, right? He's like a barnacle attached to my ass. He's just never left. And what I would say is, I think for him, it's like comfort, right? It's like there is this old world that exists that is comfort. And if he would leave that old world, then he would maybe discover new things, new exciting things, right? And I kind of feel like that's what this is saying. It's like if you would, explore new things, that then you might discover something that's more comfortable than what you've been experiencing so far. I think for Leo, it's the kind of like the letting go of what was, and in thinking that what was has something for you. And it's not that it doesn't, it just has more of the same. I think that if you would open your hands, the Hand of Fate there, and keep your hands on straight like this, right? Don't hold your hands like this, then I think you'll discover something better. This isn't making sense, but there you go. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the World. The world is an accomplishment. The world is an achievement. So I think you could be achieving great things. You have the world, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Wands even. He has the whole world in his hands. So it's like you have the whole world in your hands. With the Temperance card, you have the Three of Swords. some of you might need to like forgive yourself, or maybe you feel I kind of have this feeling of like missing out on something, as in maybe you've beaten yourself up for like missing out on opportunities that you didn't pay attention to. Maybe you've and this could be anything, like business opportunities or work opportunities, and maybe you feel like you've run out of time or something. I don't know, I'm not really getting heartbreak here. Sure, some of you could be dealing with that, but it's more saying to me that there are certain things that you feel like you missed out on, and really you didn't. I think you can create those things again. With the Tower, you have the Two of Swords. Yes, you do, and that Two of Swords at the beginning, it flipped over when we pulled out this Ace of Cups. So Two of Swords is all about needing to see that things are different. I always say that, to me, the Two of Swords is like the card of the next 10 years. She has this new island behind her, and the Two of Swords to me is a card of third place solutions. A third place solution is, everybody thinks this or that for pretty much everything that exists, but there might be another way that no one has ever discovered before, and you could be the person that like discovers some sort of solution to a problem, and by discovering the solution, you can make a bunch of money or find success or whatever you want. So I would be looking for like other ways of doing everything that you're doing. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this volcano card. It says power on it. And sorry, I didn't realize the the volume was on that. And you also have this completion, this west card. It says completion on it. So you could be gaining in power. You could be kind of like increasing in power. The whole get your crown back in the last reading that I did for you, it definitely seems to me like you're stepping into this new position of power. It's going to be something where you have to learn as you go. You have the Queen of Wands here. Queen of Wands is all about learning as you go. She's the only Wands Court card that doesn't have salamanders on her cloak. Salamanders in the tarot represent protection from fire. So she's the only one that is not protected from risk. And so I feel a lot of you, it's like there's some sort of risk that you could be taking, maybe in work or business, where you have to kind of like learn as you go, or you have to figure things out as you go. But the Queen of Wands really says you're perfectly capable of doing that. You have everything you need to be able to make that happen. She also moves towards her happiness. She has that sunflower there, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So it says that if there are things that make you happy or make you feel happy, could be anything, Queen of Wands wants you to move towards it. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family. But they are choosing to be happy. They are not being distracted by the real world. They're standing in the real world. They still have real world problems, but they are choosing to focus on the things that make them happy, and they are choosing to bring more happiness into the world, right? So I think that this isn't about ignoring the issues that are going on, but it is about doing as much as you can to bring more love, joy, and happiness into the world. And if you do that, then you'll make the world a better place. So I think that this is all about focusing and doing more things, doing more things that you can do to bring more things that make you joyful into the world. And by doing that, you're changing the world slowly but surely. The Ten of Cups could also be about you thinking about family, or, I think Leos are very attached to family, so you could be thinking about family. You have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a change in your destiny. It is a card of fate as well. With the Wheel of Fortune, we really want to pay attention to the good things that are happening, and we want to double down on those things. And the bad things are the challenges that pop up. We want to take care of those challenges right away. So the quicker we do that, the more we can change our fortunes with the Wheel of Fortune. But I do feel like you are entering into a very fortunate period of time. Fortune after difficulty, like I said, with the Wheel of Fortune, or with the Ten of Cups. So that looks good. Let's see. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Hierophant here. Let's see. Oh, you do have the Hierophant and the High Priestess. So these two are divine counterparts. If you are looking for love with the Ten of Cups, this could be like a divine connection. The Hierophant is also the bridge between the heavens and the earth. So he brings his ideas of heaven down to earth. And again, with that Ten of Cups, I think it would be a good time. If you have any ideas for making the world a better place, I would bring those things down to earth. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, Queen of Cups is all about following your heart. All the fixed signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, are definitely really heart-based right now. So you have the Three of Swords right next to it. This could represent healing your heart. so that you can, follow your heart more or less. The Queen of Cups, she really listens to what her heart is telling her to do. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. And I think that for a lot of you, it's kind of like time to commit to that. You have the Seven of Wands here. The Seven of Wands is a card, going this way is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, that's when you will have it. So the Seven of Wands really wants you to commit to your heart or what your heart is telling you to do. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on to calmer shores. So we definitely improvements, right? We see all these improvement cards. We go up to the King of Swords through the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands can represent progress or making a lot of progress. So that looks pretty good. In that row, this is the row of messages from your future self. You have this gossip card that says people are talking about you and what you are doing. Good. Let them talk. Free attention. You have this rebel card that says limiting beliefs are limiting your abundance. Yes. It says you are a trailblazer meant to pave the way for future generations. I think the whole entire reading is saying get rid of the limiting beliefs and believe that you can, kind of reinvent yourself with that temperance card. The temperance card isn't really the card of reinvention, but, it kind of is. And he needs to believe that he can turn a negative into a positive, right? He has the power to turn a negative into a positive with his mindset. So I think for a lot, and the other thing, this rebel card that says you're a trailblazer, the thing about being a trailblazer is that there's nothing to compare yourself to. So you can't look at the world and say, oh, I'll use this person as an example. It's like you are the example here, Leo. You are the one that is meant to do something. So I think it's time to commit, whether you feel like you're ready or not. Seven of Wands, he doesn't feel ready. He has a boot and a shoe on over here, or a boot here and a shoe over here, I should say. And, the story of the Seven of Wands is that he had to rush out of his home to do something great to defend his position at the top of the hill, but he wasn't necessarily ready, or he isn't ready, but he's doing it anyway. So I think it's time for you to kind of get out into the world and do something great or accomplish something. And again, I don't think this is talking about love or anything. I think it's more talking about something that you are building or doing, or a path that you're going on with that Queen of Wands. And so if you're thinking about going on a journey, I think this is saying commit. You have the Two of Wands here. The Two of Wands is about taking the lead. The Two of Wands, he also has the whole world in his hands, and so he has everything he needs to get out into the world. He just has to leave a comfort zone, which you get in every single reading I do for you. I'm pretty sure you get the Two of Wands almost every time, so definitely a time to leave a comfort zone or do something new with your life, and if you do that, I think you will find success. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands just says don't give up, and Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So I do feel like a lot of you could be have a lot of wounds in general, mostly having to do with probably the disappointments of other people. I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before. I'm just looking at your astrology. It wouldn't surprise me if over the last 2 years or so, or maybe longer, you've had people where it's you do something for them and they disappoint you, or, really, I don't know what I want to say, Leo, if I'm being honest with you, but, it's kind of it's more you, it's you operate a certain way, right? If someone does something for you, you'll probably do something for them, but other people don't do that. So I think, Leo is realizing that sometimes people disappoint you, and that's maybe where the wounds exist. Or it's the other way this could manifest is I think, Leo, you have a certain perception or perspective on what you offer to people, and it's maybe you are realizing that other people's perspective of what you have offered them is completely different, and so that can hurt, right? Especially if you think you have given a person something, or you gave them your all in love or business or whatever, and then they disappoint you. And I kind of feel that's where the wounds are coming from. That's more intuitive, I would say, of a message that I'm getting there. So I think that some of you have learned that tough lesson of life. I don't really know why, or I have no clue where this is going, Leo, so let's see. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is conflict or competition. Again, I think you're fearing competition that doesn't exist. It's you are the trailblazer. You're meant to be the example, or be the person who does something hard or difficult in life, and I feel if you do it, you'll be successful, but there really is no competition. With the Two of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, this right here is definitely encouraging a journey towards your heart, because we have the Ace of Cups here. Sure, Ace of Cups can be love, but the Ace of Cups is really you doing the things in life that cause your heart to overflow. And so I feel a lot of you it's like you have to leave a comfort zone. You have to do something without knowing whether it's going to work or not. The Queen of Wands, she has to go on a journey where she has no clue if what she is doing is going to work or not. And a spoiler alert, it's probably going to work because you have this right here. So I wouldn't even worry about it. But again, there could be a lot of doubts. The Queen of Wands doesn't really represent that. But intuitively, I feel there could be doubts about you doing something right now. But, again, I would do it anyway. With the Nine of Wands, you have the King of Swords. You have the King of Swords twice, here and here. The King of Swords, I look at as a person who knows more than you. And so if you have any problems at all, I always say that the King of Swords is a really good card for getting help from an expert, right? So, if there's a person in your life who can help you, or if you have a mentor or whatever, it might be a good time to reach out to a mentor or a guide or a person that you know that can help you on your journey. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Sphinx card. It says, choose your words carefully. And you also have this Mystic Circle. It says, your abilities will be enhanced. So you are probably very intuitive at this time. And I would trust your intuition. I think it's guiding you. I would also make sure that you are using positive words about the things that you're doing and not negative words, right? You have the King of Swords, the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Swords. The King of Swords is about knowledge and wisdom, and it says that you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom necessary for your journey or your path. And so I feel for a lot of you, you just need to use that knowledge and wisdom with the King of Swords. I also feel there are a lot of people in your life that are, good at doing whatever that could help guide you on whatever you're trying to do. You have the High Priestess. Again, I as I always say, I think Leos are the most underrated intuitives in the zodiac. So I think you need to really trust your intuition. I also feel that a lot of you need to visualize the the High Priestess. She has these 3 levels to the moon on her crown here, and those 3 levels kind of represent the fact that she can see the beginning, middle, and end of any situation before she enters into it. So it's almost like she can see the future. And so I feel a lot of you need to trust that you can see the future, or need to believe that you can imagine a future that you can live. And so visualization would be a good idea. These 2 wanted to come out. You have the Ace of Cups and the Two of Swords. This is about moving towards your heart. Again, the Two of Swords is this or that thinking. She's thinking that there are only 2 ways to do something when there are many ways, or there's at least a third way that she could accomplish moving towards her heart with that Ace of Cups. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to move towards fulfillment, or to do something that brings fulfillment into your life. And, that's it. That's what I would focus on, Leo. I thought I was going to say more, but nothing came out, right? So there you go. But let's see. With the King of Swords, yes, are you kidding? You have the Ten of Pentacles. I love readings that have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles together. To me, the 2 together in a reading is very positive. The Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in your life. The Ten of Pentacles is the tree of life, so you could be creating a lot of, really it's building and leaving a legacy, and a lot of you could be focused on building or leaving a legacy, kind of like making your mark on the world, or, doing something important, and I feel a lot of you are working towards that right now. With the High Priestess, you have the Page of Wands. Yeah, there's the adventure, the journey. The Page of Wands, he has nothing as well, just like the Queen of Wands. He just has his enthusiasm. He's excited about moving towards something he wants, and that's it. As long as he feels enthusiastic, he knows he's moving in the right direction. So I feel like you need to trust your enthusiasm. With the Two of Swords, you have the Justice card. Let justice be your guide. Justice says if you're entering into anything at all, period, if you put energy in, do you get energy back? If the answer is yes, keep going. If it stops, stop and make a change, or do something different, or reassess the situation. This goes for love. It goes for business, everything. But just as like in love, if you give energy to the person, do they give it back? If the answer is yes, keep going. If it stops, then you need to make a change, or have communicate with the person. You don't necessarily have to leave. You just have to communicate. And as long as you do that, you will be fine. But I think justice is saying, let justice be your guide. Let the cause and effect of justice be the thing that guides you towards success. You have this Broom card. It says new home, new attitude. Yeah, this Mercury retrograde I think is really good for creating an environment of success. Really the Nine of Pentacles is my card of creating a positive environment, but this is very close, and I think Mercury retrograde is a great time to clean up your house, or move things around, or rearrange your furniture, or do whatever. So I think that changing your environment, and it doesn't have to be even in your home, it could be in work or business or whatever, could be a good idea. You have this peacock. It says, beware of great pride. Yeah, I would be careful of like cocky people or, people who are overly confident. Maybe we were talking about this on the Nine of Wands, people disappointing you. And I think that's what you have learned is that it's like really, I'm pretty sure I said this in your last reading. I'm having deja vu as I say this, that, it's like I think you've learned it's like you put in this much, but most people put in this much, So it's like no one is going to bring the same heat that you do to the things that you create. And I think you're starting to learn that. It's like not a bad thing or good thing either. It's just like, it's like no one's going to be as passionate about your business as you are. No one's going to be as passionate about everything that you are as you are. So I think you're just learning. It's like you're saying to yourself, you know what? It's like I need to set expectations with like people I hire or, people in my business or people that I allow into my life. And, I just need to understand that they don't bring the same level of intensity, right? You have this dagger. It says fears, worries, tense situation. I definitely think you have to get out of your head. I think that a lot of you could be a little bit too worried about the future or where things are going when they're actually probably going a lot better than you think. So I would let go of the fears. You have this claw card, says, be careful, do not take risks. I totally disagree with this card. Every time this card comes up, I say this. I think we are in a time where we have to take risks, but we should be taking calculated risk. So as long as you are thinking or planning, I think you'll be fine. I think the type of risk that we shouldn't take is a risk that we haven't thought through or a risk where that could totally ruin us, right? So we're talking about like take tiny little risks and put yourself out there, but don't take those big risks that are going to like ruin your financial future or something like that. You have the Sun card. It says happiness and well-being. So clearly there's a lot of happiness that is available to you. I think with the Queen of Wands saying move towards the sun, and that's all you need to do. But pretty interesting, Leo. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.